salads. We have it now, because we used to use our wraps and put it in with our vegetables as the bun. And now we've thrown all of our vegetables into our chilies that we're having. And it's just been delicious. We've been throwing in, from what, Jay? Pardon, sorry? What kind of vegetables are we throwing in there?
Oh, all kinds of vegetables, guys. I mean, we'll show you all this in our recipe section. But guys,
sorry? No, you got it, man.
Okay, guys, the one thing we have incorporated into our chili is beans. Because we were eating all these vegetables in our chili, and we're like,
Canned beans.
we were throwing all these vegetables into our chili, and my man, he wasn't feeling full at the end of the night.
I wasn't.
He wasn't. So we used to use these cans of beans, 6-bean medley, and we put 3 cans of beans in it. And
awesome.
And you could feel it. It was great. But as
filler, as I like to call it,
as we were eating these beans, I could feel the food talking to me.
Oh, talking to you? What do you mean, Jay? That sounds crazy.
Yeah, I don't know, Hank. What do I mean when I mean food is talking to me?
I mean, we're going back to the old ancient shamans in the forest. We're going back to Avatar land when people were one with Mother Nature. You know, Mother Nature. Well, there's a reason why we say that, and what we say is that the plants and animals, they used to talk, and they still are talking to us in every single way. Like, back in the day, the shamans used to just go to a flower, and the flower would tell them what disease it cures, how to grow it, and everything about it. And I feel like truly, like when I used to eat burgers and all this other stuff, I didn't feel anything. I feel like crap even. But now that I've been eating all this food, I find it like you just get smarter. Like you wake up the next day, you're like, wow, you notice there's something different about you. And now that we're actually, now what my brother was saying is that with our bowl of chili, the bowl of food was talking to him, and it was telling him that these beans aren't the correct way to do it.
Cans of beans.
They're not helping us. And literally, it's not, and we're not talking about like angry orange is going to pop out of mouth and start talking at you. We mean, it is a language of feeling. The same language you talk to the angel realm, the same frequency. It's a frequency language. Frequency can speak every language at the same time because the feelings are so universal between entities. So that's kind of the language in which we speak through the fruit, and that's what my brother was saying.
Yeah, so what I was saying, guys, we were putting about, in our chili we had about 3 cans of bean medley. Now, we weren't getting, I wanted to feel more full at the end of the day, so I'm like, hey, why don't we just put 6 cans of beans in it? And then as I was going to go buy more beans, well, I realized that was the only thing that we were eating with more than one ingredient in it. Because they have preservatives in the can. So it's not just bean medley, it's beans and, polysorbate or something like that. Some sort of...
Well, I don't even know what you just said, but...
Some sort of preservative,
sounds
right?
like a Pokemon.
So when I was eating this chili, I'm like, my body was saying, Jay, stop eating these beans. I could feel them saying, my body's saying, don't eat this, it's not good for you. So I'm like, hey, all right, H, I got a great idea. Let's go to our Whole Foods store and let's buy all of our own beans.
Raw beans.
Genius. I'm like, great.
Brilliant.
So I went to the bulk barn, went there, a couple $100.
Got a 12-bean medley, not
6.
We're talking layers upon
navy
layers.
bean, kidney bean. I mean, I'll show you the rack of beans. You know what I'm saying? All these beans, and I'm like, sweet. All right, so I brought them all home to Hank. I'm like, Hank, look at all these bags of beans we have. We're gonna kill it. So that night we mixed all the beans together.
Our first soak.
Our first bean soak. It was wonderful. So I'm like, hey man, we used to eat like 3 cans. I'm gonna put like
3 cans?
I'm gonna put like 5 cans of beans in this one bowl and soak it. I'm like, sweet. So we soaked it all the night before. Woke up the next morning and the beans, some of the shells were cracked. And I'm like, oh,
because they were growing.
I'm like, they're sprouting.
There's life.
These are living beans. Great.
Hooray,
so I put this whole bowl of beans in our chili, and I'm like, Hank, eat. Let's do it. We're gonna get full again.
This is what we thought.
What happened that night, Hank?
I had a great meal. I struggled through most of it. By the time I was done this thing,
not even halfway through the bowl.
I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm not hungry. And I wasn't hungry for 4 or 5 hours. I'm talking, none of that. It was a little uncomfortable. I'm just, But tell you what happened was the next morning, man.
I mean, as I was eating, my forehead started to hurt. I'm like, I just started scooping these beans, and I'm like, oh, they're kind of crunchy. I'm like, this is great.
You got this headache.
And halfway through, I'm like, my stomach wasn't full, but my head kind of hurt. I'm like, I don't think I can eat this anymore. I gotta put this away. And the next morning,
you're full for hours. No, you were full for hours.
Oh.
Something we haven't really gone off other.
It was different. It was different. But the next morning, the proof was in
the bathroom trips. Will tell you were just frequent and ridiculous. It was a flush. The body was like, "What are you doing to me? Get this out and do not put it back in." And Jay and I were like, What do you mean? We stuck to the raw. The cardinal raw rule. If it's raw, it's good for you, right? Nah.
The bean had one ingredient. How could it be bad for you?
Nah. No. We're telling you right now, stay away from the beans.
Yeah, guys.
It's okay.
The raw beans, they're so hard on the body. At least for me anyways, guys. I couldn't process it. I'm like, extra protein. We need beans for extra protein.
Take it away from your diet.
And I took a look, guys, and I'm just like, no way, can't do the beans. So we took it out, guys.
And not only that, we're talking shell shock. When my next 6 chilies after that without beans, I would see a piece of corn and I twitch a little bit because I just get scared it was a bean. You know what I mean? Like it just body was like, don't do that.
Yeah, guys. So we took the beans out. We tried it. We're not we're not soaking beans anymore.
Don't do it.
So we're realizing, guys, the food is talking to us, guys.
There's knowledge, yeah, sorry.
Oh, no, you got it.
No, there's just so much knowledge in the food. Like, I can't go back to it more. Like, look up what a shaman was, a man of the forest. These people were in tribes. They were like the people that carried the songs. They're basically like the elders. They knew everything about the village, and they used to go out and talk to the plants. Like, there's always, you know, when you walk into a forest or you feel a breeze and you feel a little bit of wisdom come on you when you're at the beach or a nice sunset or a nice view, you just... What is that? What is that happening to you? You know what I mean? Because you're so absolved in the moment. And when you're eating such a thing that is as beautiful as a breeze on a mountain cliff, you're eating this kind of stuff. I mean, it changes you. It changes you in ways that, like, the human tongue, like we haven't even invented words that I could describe to you, and that's why a frequency language is so much. A frequency language makes so much more sense, and everybody can understand it.
All right, guys. So that's what we've been eating over the past from week 12 to 20. So we wake up, pound the watermelon, move to a.
Oh, sorry, Jay. I'm gonna cut you off,
Hey,
Jay.
keep going.
This is a big important thing. Watermelon. All right. We have a watermelon every morning.
Chop it in half.
Chop it in half. We're talking. You want a watermelon on the go? Can't get it any quicker. This is your way. But you have to be careful how fast you eat these things.
Stomach starts hurt. You're like, this watermelon's so tasty. I'm just gonna eat the whole thing all at once. And these watermelons are pretty big when you chop it in half. Like, that's a pretty big bowl. And about halfway through your bowl, you're like, I'm hungry still. But what's happening?
I got
oh, my stomach.
to about here on mine before I was like, it hurts. I gotta take a break. So I'm literally just gonna wait about 10 minutes or so before I have more because it really hurts your stomach. It expands you. I actually read online that there was a guy that actually had to go to the hospital because he ate half a watermelon in the morning too fast. I mean, this is a real thing. So we just want to say, watermelon's like our favorite thing to have in the mornings. But really, like, even after eating them almost every single day for a long time, I still have pains because I eat it too fast.
Yeah, guys. So eat your watermelon slowly. So that's what we're doing. We're eating the watermelon. We move right into our fruit tray. Boom! Salad the size of this guy's head for lunch. We move right into our
big head.
We move right into our chili for dinner, and then every night, about 2 hours after our chili, we eat grapes. I find it's because we usually watch a movie every night, and instead of popcorn, grapes, guys. They're so tasty.
It's one of my favorite parts of my day right there.
So that's it, guys.
Red grapes. Green grapes are awesome, but I love the red grapes more.
That's our food intake from week 12 to 20, and we just keep upgrading, trying to learn more about our food and more about our bodies to learn to teach you.
Boom shakalaka!